two types of English. One is what we use to socialize with our friends and family, but the other type is what we use in business or academic settings, such as in an office job or at a university. In today's lesson, we are going to cover business English expressions that could also be used in an academic setting. If you have been studying English for a while, you want to become that advanced English speaker and really master the language. These are expressions that you have to understand, as well as try to incorporate or use them in your own speaking. In this lesson, I will give you 20 different expressions, explain what they mean, and give you an example of how it can be used in context. So let's kick off this lesson with number 1. The expression is kick off. Kick off. It means to begin something. The manager kicked off the holiday party with an announcement. Here's the next one. To be brought up to speed. To be brought up to speed means to be given all the information that is needed. So let's say that you missed a few days at work and you want to know what happened those days that you were gone. I can say, I missed a few days at work, so I had my coworker bring me up to speed with whatever is going on. Okay, here's the next one. To bring to the table. Literally, you're not bringing things like plates and cups and forks. Not like that. But it's more of an expression to say, bring your own ideas. Bring your own thoughts. If you're working on a group project, you want to bring your own ideas and contribute to the project. She brought a lot of ideas to the table on how to make changes for the project. Now, if you're someone with a strong personality or you want to be seen as someone with a lot of confidence, you might hear this expression, to stand one's ground. To stand one's ground is to keep your own opinion without having people change your mind. I have to stand my ground even when people disagree with me. Now let's say it's your first day on the job and you need to know how things work. We have this expression, to learn the ropes. To learn the ropes. This is an expression to say, to learn how the job is done. So just to give you a personal example, when I started my first job at a store, I had to learn how to use the cash register, which I had no clue how to do before. I had to learn the ropes. Ooh, I love this next one. To raise the bar. To raise the bar means to have high expectations and standards. So whenever my students take a test, I say, okay, not bad, but I'm gonna raise the bar because I expect everyone to pass. Raise the bar. Oh, the elephant in the room. This is where there's an obvious problem, but no one wants to talk about it. Maybe because it's awkward, or it's just something no one really wants to say aloud, but everyone knows about it. The room was tense and quiet. No one wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. And that could have been a problem between coworkers or peers or something that was said that no one wanted to address. If you've ever been offered a job and you didn't really like what they offered, you can say this. To turn down. To turn down means to refuse something. They were not going to pay me enough, so I had to turn down the job. This next one is to start from scratch. To start from scratch just means to start from the beginning. The paper was blank. I had to start from scratch. To keep someone posted. This means to update someone with information as new information continues to come. So if you're a manager in an office, you can say, please keep me posted with any changes you make to the project. Please continue giving me information as you keep working on it, and let me know if there's any changes that are being done. Seal the deal. Seal the deal. This means to come to an agreement. So if I'm working with a team, we sealed the deal and decided to divide the work evenly. Sealed the deal. This word's an acronym, but we use this in writing and speaking. ASAP. ASAP stands for as soon as possible. You might say, turn in your work ASAP, or just say, turn in your work as soon as possible. Don't delay. Look at the big picture. Look at the big picture just means look at the whole thing. Don't just focus on the details. So here's a workplace example. Let's look at the big picture. Our company is gaining revenue, but not nearly enough as our competitors. Look at the big picture. In a nutshell. In a nutshell, in the fewest possible words. Kind of like how you summarize. In a nutshell, English in the workplace is different than English at home. Then there's this one. To go the extra mile. This means to make a special effort to complete or do something. I'll give you another example. If I assign my students to write a paragraph about themselves, I always have a few students that go the extra mile, and they'll write an entire page. They'll even type it to make it look nice. They definitely went the extra mile on the same page. I'm not talking about in a book being on the same page, but this means to agree on something. So if you want to ask someone, do you agree with me? You can simply say, are we on the same page? To call it a day. It's been a long day at work. You just want to call it a day. It means to end an activity. Let's call it a day and we can continue tomorrow. Think outside the box. If you think outside the box, it means you are thinking how to do something in a different or new way. You're giving a new perspective. My boss told everyone to think outside the box and come up with new solutions, with new strategies for the project. And the last one, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up means let's end or finish something. I'm going to wrap up this lesson on business English expressions. So in a nutshell, this lesson has given you the opportunity to look at the big picture as to why it's important to know expressions like these. I hope many of you will go the extra mile and practice using these throughout the week. Well, it's time to wrap this up. If you like this video, please make sure you press like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Stay tuned next week for another lesson on business English conversation. If you have a request for a specific English lesson, go ahead, write it in the comments section, and I'll make sure to note it down for a future lesson on this channel. You can stay posted on any upcoming lessons in my social media, such as Facebook or Twitter. You've been watching Learning English with Flor. Till next time.